crap. That's too low down. Shit.
Okay, break the weld.
Wait a minute, that might go. Oh, hold on. That'll go in. The hood's falling off. Let's see here. All right. Oh Lord. What a gap that is. Holy cow, that's a gap.
Okay, I gotta go, Daddy.
All right. Alexa, announce.
What would you like to announce?
Lisa, come here, please.
Announcing.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am now putting the panel in. I just burnt a hole over here because I wasn't doing it right. So we shall see. Damn. Oh, can you put that hammer up down there for me? Y'all get all the heads checked and all that good stuff. Huh?
Yes. Kenneth said notification sent me here. Hey everyone.
Hello. Oh, watch out. This is a pain in the butt. Metal's so thin that you just grind, you just weld right through it. I gotta let that cool off. I got my new end put on.
Alright.
All right. Let's see if I can get this to level out. I think that's level. Now it's out a little bit. Can't get it to there we go. I think that's going to be it. I don't think I can get it any closer. Whew. I'm a little dizzy. put a new end on my air hose. Put a swivel on it. Get the stupid hose over here where you can see it. So it's a little bit tricky to get anything plugged into it. It wants to flop around, but if you flop it all over to one side, put your thumb on it and hold it like that, then you can push stuff in it no problem.
Great when you're done. It's basically like a swivel for a ratchet. Nice tool. said, boy, do those welding gloves bring back memories. Lincoln Tech was the place to go to learn welding back when I was a teenager. I remember that name well, even though I didn't go into the trades.
Damn. What do you think?
He said, boy, do those welding gloves bring back memories. Lincoln Tech was the go-to place to learning welding back when I was a teenager. I remember that name well, even though I didn't go into the trades.
Ah. Yeah, we like them. I also like, there's another one. I have some gloves that come up to here. I don't remember the name. They're, I can't even think of it. Tillsman? Something like that.
Hey, Glenn, it's, Tira's not here. She, had a play to go to.
So, I think that's it. I think that's all the welding. But wait a minute. I got this little side right here. There we go.
She's helping out backstage, Glenn. She
All right, now that should be it.
normally she's in the plays, but the summer plays is just for school-age kids up to 12th grade, and since she's graduated, she couldn't be in this one, so she helped out backstage, but she's usually in the plays the rest of the year. Glenn said, car metal is so thin that it's hard to weld. I see you are spot welding it, keep from burning a hole into it.
Trying to. I'm probably not going to be able to grind this down today. I'm going to try to get these two ends that I welded because I'm hurting sitting in this chair.
That's correct, Glenn.
Will you get me the hood? You have to go around the outside. I throw it in the truck cab. I got to add some more welds up here that I've ground through them too thin.
Shut the door, I don't want to scare you.
All right. I think that black line just messed me up. Let's see if I can take that line off with a wire brush. I think that black line just messed me up. I put it up there so I could see the thing. Alright, let me try this.
You want that fan on?
Yeah.
To get you some air circulating? Glenn's idea, just so you know.
I think that's it. I'll knock those down when that cools off. I'll knock those down some more. I won't knock them down as flat as I did because I can cover this with filler. I'll skin this whole section with filler, and then I'll start a new line up here and taper it down to here and cover all this up. I'm gonna go sit on the couch. Let's go sit on the couch, dear. If I can get over there. Damn it. Oh. My legs are numb. Hopefully it didn't break it. Whew. Let me get over there before you bring them. That way if I fall, they don't see it. I'm sitting in that chair. Murder. Can't sit on the, yeah, I guess you can. Hello, everybody. They don't hear the same thing. Bring the air hose and the plug in. find that one any easier? Move around a little bit, buddy. Sit down.
There's not a whole place. There's not a place I can get to when you're not be able to.
Move them over here.
But I can see the messages.
Log in on the. Get back to the truck up. Move that stuff and then back to the truck up here and then after we can get up, down off the couch. I think I'm just gonna knock the welds down, just flatten them down just a little, and I'm gonna let the filler go over the top of them. I don't know. I may take them down a little bit thinner. It doesn't leave very much holding that panel in there. 1/16 of an inch worth of tack weld. Less than that, 32nd of an inch. Never done this before. I don't know how far to take them down. The body filler will cover them up if I want to put it on that thick. It's going to be kind of hard to level it with the door right there. It's going to be thicker than the door, so when you close the door, it'll be out in front of the door. So I don't know what to do. Make round down a little bit, but right now I need to give the light bill a rest. The big air compressor really runs my light bill up. And I don't make any money off of YouTube, so I have to watch the light bill. So I'll prime it here in a minute. I'll get that self-etching primer and I'll prime that bare metal. And then I'll come back out here and, next week? I think next week. And I'll have the body filler by then. And I'll put the body filler on the, let me ask y'all something. should I use fiberglass reinforced body filler or just plain body filler? I don't know which one to use. I think if you're going thick, you have to run the fiber. It's best to run the fiberglass reinforced. But I'm not a body man. I'm a simple mechanic. So.
Kenneth said, you never told us the story of how you got the Ford truck. Did you buy it from a friend? Was it gifted, bought new? And Glenn said, can you tack it from the inside of the truck to help stiffen up the panel?
No, it's a double wall. The inside of the panel is the inside of the truck. It's two panels clamshell together. All right, let's turn it down, then put it on the holler. Never mind. Let me bring y'all a little bit closer here, and I'll tell you the story of a man named Jed. No, I'm just teasing. The story of the truck. I had a 2010 F-150 that we couldn't afford to pay for. We got behind on the payments, and they repossessed the truck. When they repossessed the truck, they sold it for a profit, $4,500 profit, I think. That profit came to us. Once the loan was satisfied, anything over that came to us. So we took that money and we paid 15 or 12. 15. We paid $1,500 for this truck. We found it on the side of the road, halfway between my house and where my wife used to work in Macon at the Geico, was it? Yeah, Geico insurance company. So we went down there and looked at it, and it had a bunch of problems. The front of the truck originally was white. The problem it had is somebody couldn't figure out why it was idled up to $2,000. The whole time I test drove it, I never had to give it any gas. I just shifted the gears. And then I found that the idle air motor was unplugged. Well, if the idle air motor was unplugged, it should have closed, and therefore the truck should have cut off, but the truck was running at $2,000. Somebody had monkeyed with the flapper stop in the throttle body. That's not an idle screw. It's a flapper stop. It's there to stop the choke blade, the throttle blade, to keep them from binding. That's it. Somebody had ran the idle up like that, and well, the computer couldn't get it to go down. So we bought it. I brought it home, and I put new bearings in the rear end, new shoes, new hardware, new calipers, new rotors on the front, new bearings in the front, new pivot bushings, new ball joints. Well, actually, it's, this one has ball joints in it, new ball joints, and we put new U-joints in the drive shaft, new carrier. The carrier had a crack in it in the rear end, so we put a new carrier in it. We put a new windshield in it. Okay, then I'm just guessing, I think 2 years later, maybe about 4 or 5 years later, my daddy gave me a bunch of wood tools, bandsaw, joiner, planer, table saw, rail arm saw, all that type of stuff. So I made a little wood room out of one of the old bedrooms on the back of the house. And so we brought these tools home. Well, we went to see my mother at the nursing home, and no sooner we left the nursing home, we went down the street, and a guy ran ran the red light, and hit the front of the truck. Just sideswiped the front bumper of the truck and knocked it. This part of the truck right here, almost like, can they see the truck at all? This part of the truck right here was over here. It knocked it about a foot over to the right. It twisted the hood. It bent this fender. This fender is new. Well, not new, but new to the truck. The other fender over there is original fender. We had to put a new core support in it, a new grill, new headlights. I took the bumper off and redid it. This truck was bought after Tara was born. So I can't say that we took Tara to the hospital in this truck. I had a little S10. I wish I still had that S10. It was a really clean truck and it drove really nice. But, you know, dumb decision. I traded it for an F250, of which I wish I still had that one, but I don't. And then we wound up this one years later. But, oh, we put new tires on it, new lug nuts. What else we done to it? Y'all see this door right here? I don't know if you can see this door or not, but tear it back into a telephone pole with it. She was upset. I couldn't help but laugh. I thought it was funny. I didn't get on to her at all. She was upset about it, but I thought it was funny. Stuff like that I see when somebody didn't do it intentionally, they didn't do it on purpose. If I find humor in something, I'm going to laugh at it. I don't care if it is my own truck. And this fender right here, I haven't done this fender. I don't know if you can see it or not, but right here is dented in. So it's still like a line. Look like something hit it. Like something hit it like this. And somebody beat it back out. So it's a bunch of little dents. This line is straight. This line is kind of like right here is messed up. But there's dents. I put my pinky finger in these little dents there. So when I get that body filler, I may sand this down and fill it, and then sand over and repaint it.
Kenneth said plain body filler should be fine. I wouldn't think that the strength issue is important being so low on the panel. Glenn said I would use it without the reinforcement so you don't have fiberglass string. Just make several coats with a Bondo and build it up. Glenn said, how did you get the truck in there without tearing the mirror off the door?
Oh. The truck is jacked up. The truck is jacked up on car ramps. When you let the truck down, the mirror leans away from the mirror. When you set the truck down, there's a big of a gap, and all you got to do is turn the wheel to the right. The truck's in at an angle. I'll exaggerate it. The truck's in like this. I got an angle like this. So all you got to do is steer the front end around, and when you steer the front end around, it's like that much gap on each side of the truck. It's just leaned over right now because it's on the car ramps. So I could raise that side of the truck up so I didn't have to squat down or sit down on Indian leg style on the ground.
He said, okay, I was just wondering, it looks close.
Oh yeah, I thought from the house, I thought that we had run in, when I come back out, I thought that we'd run into the doorpost with the side of the truck. Now I don't think I would have laughed at that. But the phone pole, I thought was funny. I backed into the tower. What else? Anything else?
Kenneth said that generation of Ford trucks were built Ford stuff. I love that generation.
Hey, we're not getting rid of it until it quits running. And then we're going to put an engine in it because for some strange reason, I asked my granddaughter, Addison, the redheaded girl, I asked her if she wanted my truck. Because I want my granddaddy's truck. And my granddaddy didn't give it to me. He gave it to my aunt. And so I didn't get it. It's a 1973 F100 with a 6-cylinder in it. And so I've always wanted that truck. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it drives. It's got plenty of power, but 306-cylinder in it. It gets down the road. It pulls good. It pulled a travel trailer, a small travel trailer, no problem. But my aunt won't come off of it, so I wanted a 68, 69, 70, 1, 2, or 3 Ford truck, but we didn't find one. We sort of kind of happened across this one.
Finish the granddaughter story.
Oh, granddaughter story, sorry. Well, anyway, I asked her if she wanted it, and she said yes. I said, but you can't drive a stick yet. She said, I know, but I still want it. It's yours, I want it. I said, okay. Well, excuse me. I said, okay. So it's her truck. So I'm doing all this, to keep it up while I own it. And then when I get tired of driving it, and I hope to do this while I'm still alive, that way I could see her driving, I could see her learning how to drive. And quite possibly I might be able to buy her a clutch or two Well, I don't know how well she's gonna learn how to drive a stick. And there's a few things we gotta fix on it. I want to put factory air back on it. I want to put, so I need a condenser coil, I need the hoses, the compressor, the dryer, the dryer, the accumulator, I need all of that. So basically I need to find another truck that has factory air on it and go rob all the parts off of it, put new O-rings in it. What else? Need a new steering column. The truck got a lot of play in the steering column. My dad used to say, and I tell people this, if you can learn to drive this truck, you can keep it on the road, you can drive anything out there that man makes.
Kenneth said those 6 cylinders are bulletproof. 1973 F100 is a beautiful truck. What color was your grandpa's?
A light blue, not sky blue, somewhere in between dark blue and sky blue. Like a powder blue, I think is what it's called. It's right now it needs a transmission. I really wish I had that truck. I offered her $1,500 for it, and I guess I'll just have to wait till she gets really desperate for money and hit her up again. But right now I need to concentrate on taking care of the house and getting that situation finalized. 300s are, my boss had a 50 model or 60 model Ford truck.
Is it a 3 on the tree or an automatic?
My drainage truck. It's a automatic, but it's in the floor. It was on the column, but the linkages, all the bushings wore out, and the linkages, linkage is only one. The linkage for the transmission, and the dealer wanted an astronomical price for that, and we hadn't quite learned about aftermarket stores and stuff for said things, so we just converted it from a column shift to a floor shift. And you just have to know what gear you're in. It's not that hard. You just count the clicks and you come back. When you go from reverse to drive, there's a lockout in drive, so you can't go all the way to one. So all you got to do is pull it from reverse, pull, and it'll go through neutral and stop and drive. Same thing with going in reverse. This shifter doesn't have a reverse lockout. I don't remember if it does. I don't think it does. So there's no extra fiddly bits to mess with. But it had it towed my F-250. I had an 11,000 pound F-250. It had a big toolbox on the back. Always stayed loaded up full of tools and supplies in the bed of the truck. And it was an 85 F-250 4-wheel drive with the big tires on it and suspension lift and all that good stuff. And it broke down in Fayetteville. And my granddaddy's truck pulled it with a tow dolly. He pulled it 75 miles an hour, following traffic up the road, and that 600 just kept on digging. The more you mashed on it, the harder, faster it went. And they had no problems handling it, and no problems, shipping, pulling it, nothing. This little 11,000 pound truck with the tow dolly.
Kenneth said 1973, I believe, was the first year of that generation, 1973 to 1979.
I don't know. I'm not good with stuff like that. I wish I was. I just don't retain it. I look it up when I need to put a part on it or something. I look it up, but I don't see it. It's just sitting up at my granny's house under a carport, under a roof shed there, whatever they made a lean-to for it. And they're not doing anything with it. It's going to rot down around the tires. And she's going to probably, or she might, in a couple of years say, hey, do you still want this truck? I'm going to have to tell her no, you waited too long. But I don't want to paint it. I want to have it cleared. I want to have it sanded down, just scuffed up enough, and then have it cleared to maintain the original patina of the truck. What are you looking for?
It's not running.
Yeah, this truck, I got it put back together as best I could. I had to pull the frame around. The frame got bent right out in front of the cross member. The frame horns got bent over. They were like this. Both of them were like this, little, like that. They were both like that. They were both bent over. And so we pulled it with the hoist. We parked it out beside the power pole out there. And I wrapped the chain around the power pole and then wrapped the chain around the frame and put my hoist out there and pulled it around. And then once I got all the spring out of it, then I hit it with a sledgehammer to make it bend back around. And where the spring split, I beat it out and I welded it back up. And it's been that way for what, 6 years? It's been that way for 6 years, and we haven't had a bit of trouble out of it.
In the city hopes you get it someday. It deserves to be reviewed.
And my granddad used to take me fishing in that truck. He used to come get me to spend the weekend with him in that truck. He used to take me, I've been to the doctor in that truck, been to the hospital in that truck. My granddad would come get me to work on the truck. I was the only one that would, other than my daddy, I mean, he would come get me to work on it. So I didn't, he used to keep a camper shell on it. That was pretty cool. The old one. It wasn't a fiberglass one. It had a wooden structure with aluminum siding on it, and the little rubber seals like you see around the edge of the camper. That's what it was. He made a little thing. I thought it was pretty neat. He made a little thing to take the camper shell off, and he took 4 chains, like a lamp chain, a little bit heavier than a lamp chain. But he took 4 chains and 4 eye bolts and run them through some 1-inch thick boards. I don't know where he got these boards from, but he suspended it from the rafter, from the ceiling joist in the garage. And he went back in the garage, and all you had to do was unbolt the camper. And these things were on chains so they could swing. And all you do, and he would take a jack and set it up in the truck and jack up the camper and swing the board up under the back of it there and then set it down. Then he would move the jack to the front, jack up the front. And well, he'd pull it back a little bit, and then he would jack up the front, swing the other board in under the front, and it would lift it off the truck about 2 inches, and he would just drive out from under. He'd put a little rock down, or if there was a rock or a root or something, he would just look out the window and see about where the tire was, and he would remember that. So when he backed back under, he would stop right at the same spot, and then we would let the camper down and put the clamps back on it. He used to have a single dolly type wheel on a trailer that went behind the truck, and you hooked this trailer up with it bolted to 2 brackets on the bumper, so the trailer could go up and down, but it swung with the truck. The wheel would turn like a caster on a shopping cart there, and that was the trailer that he pulled the tiller behind on, and he would bring the tiller up to my daddy's house to plow the garden.
He said, Kenneth said, my father junked all of our vehicles, even though he knew I wanted to keep them, so I know how it feels.
Yeah, it's I want it. I don't know that I could drive it. Every time I get in it, I get overwhelmed with emotion.
Tara wants it.
Yeah, Tara, my daughter wants it, and
Said she would drive it.
that she'll drive the snot out of it. And it needs. I mean, it has power brakes on it now, just power brakes. So the brakes are like really touchy because it has a power booster brake system on top of it. I think it still has drum brakes on it. I don't know if it has drum brakes on the front. I can't remember. It's been probably 30 years since I've been under the truck or done anything mechanically to the truck. So I'm not sure. Whatever 73 F100 came factory with is more than likely what this truck has.
Kenneth said, I get very emotional over vehicles. That's been in our family. There's history with vehicles like that.
I think vehicles have souls. Laugh at me, whoever watching this video that wants to laugh. I really don't care. Your opinion doesn't matter. But I do. I've had trucks bring me home. I treat them right. I keep them oil change, keep them greased up, keep them tires on them, keep things fixed on them. And they would bring me home when other people would break down on the side of the road with brand new trucks. And I'd toodle them right on the side of them, right on up the highway with my raggedy truck, and it just keeps on going. This one right here? This truck has a 302 in it, the stock 302. The only thing aftermarket or hot rod about it is the throttle body and the high volume oil pump. I changed the oil pump. When I wrecked the truck, I took the whole front end of the truck off. Fenders, hood, front clip, the whole shooting match was off. And I thought, well, while I had this chance, I'll go ahead and pull the motor. There's only a handful of bolts, and you could get right there at it. So I pulled the engine, I turned it upside down, I put new bearings in the bottom end, and I put new seals, front and rear, and new gaskets, valve cover gaskets, head gaskets. I just went through the whole truck, the whole engine, and put all valley gasket, for the intake, gaskets, timing chuck cover, a water pump. I put a new water pump on it. Just went through the whole thing and put a high volume oil pump in it because I like running high volume oil pumps. And then stuck it back in the truck. But while I had it out, I went ahead and pulled the transmission, and I put all new gaskets and seals on the transmission, and I cleaned out the case before I put it back together. I had the top off of it, so I washed out all the bearings and everything, and then we squirted grease in them best we could. And I had a little needle thing that went on my grease gun. I could stick in the bearing and bronze bushings and stuff and grease it. And then it runs Mercon 5, something like that. One of them funky transmission things. That's what it uses.
Kenneth said vehicles do have souls. That's why I name all of mine part of the family. Sean BZA just popped in. Only ever had 6 cars in my life. I tend to keep them a long time. Kenneth said that's a good thing that you keep them so long. Sean said Volkswagen Beetle 3 years, then a Toyota Corolla 6 years, then Ford's Phantom 10 years.
What was the first thing? The vehicles had sold. What was after that?
Do it.
What was after that?
Exactly.
Vehicles had sold.
That's why I named
name.
Yeah.
This one is called Snoopy because it's a white truck with a black nose, so we call it Snoopy. The car doesn't have a name yet. It's just a pain in my ass right now because it's a bill. It'll get a name sooner or later, but not right now. It doesn't have a name. But the truck is called Snoopy. My granddaddy's truck is just called his granddaddy's truck. It doesn't have a name. Old Blue, maybe.
Kenneth loves the name Snoopy.
It just was sitting out in the yard one day after we put it back together, and either the grandkids come up with the name or I come up with the name. I don't care. I'll credit whoever says they came up with the name. I'll give them the credit because I don't care about that type of stuff. But somebody came up with the name Snoopy, and it stuck. The only other truck I had was a 78 C10 half-ton pickup with an 8-foot bed on it, and we called it Big Red. It was orange, but Big Orange just didn't sound cool, so it was called Big Red. I got a little bit of rust up here at the top that we need to fix, and all I'm going to do right now is just grind out the paint with a wire brush and prime it with that self-etching primer and put some sealing primer on it for now. Yes, the truck has spots all over it, but that's what gives it character. Wish I could weld that from the inside. Now the split where I welded the 2 pieces of metal together so that I could make my panel wider, that is welded on the inside. And although I didn't have weld-through primer, I put I primed the inside of the sheet. It'd probably burn it off before I welded, but I did the best I could do. All right, dear, will you, well, yep, turn it down a little bit so you can see the hole that's sitting in.
The whole, oh,
Look to the right, to the left, to the left, I'm sorry, to the left. I'll raise it up. There you go, come on up. See, that's how the truck got close to the couch.
yeah.
I'm in a hole. Turn it around for me. Alright, good video. Damn, I almost wanted, you know what, is the play already started?
Fix and start. I don't know if I'm in my video.
Thought about going and seeing it again. I like the genie.
Yeah, she was fun.
I didn't like the Jaro. Is that his name, Jaro? The guy in the red, big old red suit. Yeah, I didn't like that
And
character.
it said, what car are you working on?
What car?
We're not working on the car. I think he was talking about, I think he was talking about my vehicle that we're making payments on that he doesn't like.
Yeah, I was talking about Lisa's car. I don't like it, but well, it's too small. We went and looked at about 11 cars, and we had to get a car that they would take $200 down on, and a monthly payment that we could afford. So we got a Ford Escape. We didn't go there to buy a Ford Escape or any type of particular vehicle. We went there to get a vehicle, period. We started out with a Honda. No, we started out with a Honda CRV. And it had a problem with the door. The door wouldn't unlock. One of the doors wouldn't open. So we told them about it, and they said, well, we can't sell it like that. We have to have it fixed first. And it had lots of leg room and wide. This car that I'm talking about, this little Ford Escape, the car does this. It leans in like this. From the bottom to the top, the sides of the car come in. Well, when I sit straight up in there, I'm leaned up against the side of the car like this. And it's a pain. I can't lay back. It's just not comfortable. The seat lays all the way back, but it's just uncomfortable because I'm kind of twisted in there. But it does get like 38 to 40 miles per gallon. I think you can go 420 miles on one tank of gas. So we like to do a lot of riding around. Sometimes we'll just go in shops and look around and not buy anything, and so we can afford to put gas in the car and just ride wherever we want to. Whereas this thing right here, to ride to Helen, Georgia and back, would probably take $100. Yeah, we'll probably take $100 in gas to drive up there and back. Even though it's got overdrive, it would still take $100 up there and back. It would take a tank of gas up there and a tank of gas back, possibly stopping a few miles from the house and adding $5 or $10 to make it the rest of the way home. They might, hey, why don't you take them real quick, baby, and give them a tour of the shop. I don't think these guys have seen the shop. Should I put a new plate in there? I guess so. Oh, it doesn't have variable speed. That's stupid. Well, it does, but not the variable speed. I don't think so.
Alright, you may have to come tell them stuff that I don't.
This is the basics. We'll get it. If we have something, let me know.
Some of this stuff.
Tell me what you're doing.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna show y'all what the shop looks like. I don't know a lot about all the stuff he's got in here. His drill press, 2 drill presses, where he cleans his tool or parts, part cleaner. And he's got his big toolbox and his other little toolbox. And then all of his workspace right now is being, all of his workspace being taken up with the son-in-law's engine parts still. And then this over here is Tira's toolbox.
Down about the bandsaw we finished.
And then this bandsaw here, I don't remember where we got it, but we refinished it, cleaned it, painted it. I'll show you the other side. There you go. So yeah, that's the shop. His welder. Back outside we go.
If y'all got any questions about what you saw, I'll answer them. I just didn't feel like getting up. I don't feel good. I may sand this down. I don't know yet.
Kenneth said that's a great setup.
Thank you. All right, I think we're gonna go about another 15 minutes, then I'm gonna cut the camera off and get back to sanding on, grinding on this welds and priming it.
Sean said I need a hydraulic press, but no room in my workshop for it. Kenneth said, how long did it take to accumulate all those tools? You have a ton of stuff.
About 15 years. Yeah, about 15 or 20 years. I'm still collecting.
Sean said, have broken a vise getting a bearing out before we went and used arc welder to shrink the race.
I broke a bearing. I broke a vise. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but it broke off where they typically break off, right below the front jaw, right where the horizontal beam comes in vertical with the vertical casting. It just popped right there, and I welded it back together, and it stayed for the longest. But then I put a cheater bar on it like an idiot one day, trying to, because something I was working on just kept on. It was hardened. The piece was hardened, and the vice jaws wouldn't dig in. And so when it was really long, and it would just keep on dropping down no matter how tight I tightened the vise. So I put a cheater bar on it, and it popped again. When it did that, I went and bought another vise. These vices that I have here, the vise that I have in there, I paid like $75 for it. And if you look at a good Wilton vise, or a Prentice vise, or any of these other vices out there, you're talking anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for a vise. And I would like to have a Wilton's mechanical vise, but I'm not. I just don't have $1,000. I think they're $1,000 to put into a vise. I hardly use it now. I don't use it as much. I do mainly all of my work on that metal table that y'all saw in there, and I clamp everything down to it. I have a little small vise that I sit on the table, and it bolts to the top of the table. And so I put a lot of stuff in there. And I have used a welder. I didn't use an arc welder. I used my wire welder. I went and went around inside of a race and welded it, and it just dropped right out.
Sean said, a chunk of my tools came from my father some dates of the 1950s and moved across the entire continent. Kenneth said, well, I'm glad I made the live stream. Thanks for the great convo and all the knowledge you share. I'll see you on the next one. Sean said, none of these vices are available for me, just cheap Chinese for me. Peter said, damn, forgot the stream was on. Good thing I can rewatch this.
Yeah, so we're gonna kill it. and I'm gonna probably go in the house for a little bit. No, actually, I'm gonna go over there and grind that and get that ground down and go ahead and get it painted, a primer, before I go in the house. Because when I go in the house, I'm not gonna feel like doing anything but laying down. I just don't feel good. I feel drained. And
Still hot out here.
it's hot, and it's just a pain in the butt. Matter of fact, going to get turn the welder off. It's cool by now. The thing about welders is when they get hot, because the fan blows on the outside of the transformer, it doesn't blow in the core of the transformer where the heat is. So the heat has to wick out or soak out through the windings and reach the outside, and then get whisked away by the fan. And then it repeats that step over and over and over and over again until it's cooled down until it doesn't do it anymore. So I leave my welder running about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes after I'm done welding with it. I've left it run all day before. Like if I burned, I welded up a firebox where I was burning rod after rod after rod after rod. Even a little puff of smoke come out of the welder one day. And so I left it on all day. So it cools that transformer off before that winding melted. Oh, y'all see this? Y'all want to see this frog? I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Let's see if I can get it over there. Oops. Hold on. Right. That little, where's my finger? That little, look right there, that little dot right there is a tiny frog, right there. That little dot's a tiny frog. That is a itty bitty frog. I can't get it to zoom in any tighter. That's the best I can do. I don't know if y'all can see it or not.
I think it moved a little bit.
Yeah, it moved. It's right in the center of the screen, right dead in the center. That little black dot's a tiny frog. I've never seen a frog that small before. We get frogs under the shop, I don't know why. Other than I think bugs. The bugs under here or something, they come in here to eat and they never leave. Well, they do sometimes, but we found some big frogs out here, about the big size of a 50-cent piece or about the small child's hand. Ooh, there's a lot of comments. Hold on, I'm still going. There we go. The green tree frog are common by me. Poor frog looked like he got cast in the block. No, down here. Where's my finger? Right down there. No, I've never seen a frog that big. But let's see if I can get back out of it. There we go. All right. Well, hey, as always, might help if I face you towards me. That's not quite enough. I was wrong. Oh, it moved. Now it moves. Now that I turn the camera around, now it moves. Don't forget to be kind to people. Love your neighbor. You got a strained relationship in your family or your friends, go fix it. Life's too short to hold a grudge against somebody, or somebody's holding a grudge against you. Reach out to them. They may be waiting for you to reach out, and they're not the ones going to reach out, so you have to do it. And if somebody's wronged you, forgive them. Not the forgiving is not for you. I mean, not for them. The forgiving is for you. And whenever you get a chance, bless somebody by helping them. We love you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.